What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunsky here, and today I'm going to be breaking down what I think might be my new favorite Fire Sorceress build in Diablo 2, and that is the full Tal set with the Phoenix Shield. I had a lot of questions on stream as to why I was running this build, what the advantages are, disadvantages, etc. So I thought I'd make this video. And again, guys, quick reminder, all my future streams are now taking place on Twitch, twitch.com/Dobrunsky125. Link is, of course, in the description below. And like all of my previous build videos, timestamps will be in the description. So if you guys want to jump back and forth between the attributes, skill tree, gear, or gameplay, they're there for you guys to use, so please take advantage of them. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let's jump in. There's a couple basics that I just want to cover about the Sorceress before we jump into the gear, and the first is of course the attributes. Like all of my softcore characters, this Sorceress build is not really any different. It's a max fighter build, so I have enough strength to equip my gear, nothing into dexterity, nothing into energy, and then all of my remaining points are put into vitality. The skill tree distribution for this character, it's no different than a previous Fire Sorceress build. I have the link for that in the description below, but just to quickly go over it, I have 1 point into all of the 1-point wonders, so 1 into warmth, 1 into frozen armor, and then 1 into static field, telekinesis, and then teleport. And then all of the remaining points are put into meteor, fireball, and its synergies, including fire mastery, in order to completely maximize the full power of meteor, because I do use that skill a lot with this setup. And then lastly, I just want to talk a little bit about why I went the direction of using a full Tal Sorcerer set with the Rumored Phoenix, because I had a lot of questions about this, and the answer is it's just a nice combination of maximum damage, capping resistances, having a decent amount of FHR, and then having a lot of MF. This character can pretty much farm player 7 difficulty around 400 MF, no problem. You just drop meteors, static, and fireball. The only thing you're going to struggle with a little bit is fire immunities. But overall, I mean, there's not a lot of characters I think that can do player 7 and stack that much MF besides if you select builds in the pits only on players 1 difficulty or the hammered in player 7, but this character can actually do it in other locations like Act 3, the Durance of Hate level 2, and also the Drifter Cavern in Act 4. More on that later when we go into the gameplay. But the only downside to this build, I think, in my eyes, is that you're stuck at 63 FCR. It is literally impossible to reach 105 with the full Tal set without using the Rumored Spirit, and since this setup is using a Phoenix Runeward for the shield, you just can't hit it, so it's the one downside, but kind of throwing away that minus 28 fire res does make a big difference on player 7 difficulty, so you can run lower player setting and then use Spirit instead of Phoenix. It's really up to you, but I do definitely think that using the Phoenix Runeward is the optimal setup if you're okay using 63 FCR breakpoint on your build. That's really a quick overview of the character, so we'll quickly cover the gear and then I'll show some gameplay of this setup. I've mentioned a lot of the gear pieces already. It is a full Tal set with the Phoenix Runeward. So you can see here all 5 pieces of the Tal set, and then Phoenix. Now, what you choose to sock with the orb, body armor, and the helmet gives you a little bit of variation. I went with 3 Istrunes for additional MF. You could go Fire Facets for more damage, although that is a little bit overkill. You have a total of minus 15 fire res with Tal's orb, and then minus 28 on Phoenix for a total of minus 43. So going up and beyond that is really overkill. It's just a little bit more damage for fire enchanted monsters that have their immunity broken by infinity. It's up to you. I think it's kind of overkill. Now there is a little bit of variation in terms of the gloves, boots, and the 2 rings that you can use. I went with 2 SOJs to increase damage and overall maximum mana. You could go BK rings if you wanted more life, or nasal rings if you wanted more MF. The boots, if you want FHR, a higher FHR breakpoint, I do only get 25 with the full Tal set, plus I have 12 with the Skiller. But you could go like Ethereal Sandstorm Trex for a little bit of additional FHR for a higher breakpoint if you choose. And then I went with Mage Fist for the 20 FCR, and then the additional +1 to fire skills is more damage. I don't see the point of using Tranks because I have almost capped cold res. It's up to you if you want to go with that setup. I think it's going to depend on like your Torch and Annie and the rest of your charms and your character level for your res. But yeah, I just went with Mage Fist. And on the offhand, I have CTA and Spirit, kind of standard for every vanilla Diablo 2 character except for the Barbarian. And then I have a Torch and Annie, different assorted MF small charms. And then I have a Geed's Grand Charm with some of the nicest skillers I have found in Diablo 2 on single player. I got a 1 to fire skills 6 to strength, 1 to fire skills 12 FHR, 36 to life, 40 to life, 14 to life, and 29 to life. So some really nice skillers that help get a really high health pool for this source build. And then the mercenary, I'm using Fortitude and Dariel's Visage. This is an ethereal one with an IES jewel, or it's an IES fire res jewel actually. That's why you see -9 fire res and 35 increased attack speed. And then I have the Rumored Infinity and Ethereal Thresher, but it's basically just for the Conviction Ore. It really helps amp the damage. So between the minus fire res with the full set, Phoenix, and then the Conviction Ore from Infinity, this character has a lot of damage. But now that you have an idea about the gear, I'm going to show you guys a couple MF locations, the Durance of Hate level 3 and the Drifter Cavern on players 7 difficulty, and I'll explain my reasoning behind magic finding these locations as well while I'm showing you the build. So I'm setting the player's difficulty to 7 so you can see the full potential of this build on very difficult monsters. So I'm going to do 2 runs each of the Durance of Hate level 3 and the Drifter Cavern so you get an idea of what the character is like. Now one of the cool things about the Drifter Cavern is these Bloodlords, believe it or not, they can actually drop some pretty nice stuff because of the area level and their monster level. They can't drop every item in the game, but they do have the potential to drop better stuff than Mephisto. And then you can always do these Council, who have elevated high rune drops and have nice drop odds for jewelry and facets, so I like to kill them as well. It's kind of a twist on regular Mephisto farming, instead of just skipping all of this and doing Mephisto. So we do all of them, and then we do one quick Mephisto kill. Now if you actually kill him further enough away from the portal and quick enough, you can TK the portal, just like I did there. I don't know if you guys knew that. And then we'll do a couple Drifter Cavern runs. Now hopefully, don't run into any of those crazy fire immune guys. It's the only disadvantage to the Drifter Cavern. If those stupid Frenzy Tar guys, or whatever they are, didn't exist, Fire Sorceress would be the optimal MF character for this location. It still is really good, it's just you can't break their fire immunity. We'll see if we run into them. It really just depends on your map seed, how often they will actually spawn. Just a combination of Meteor, Fireball, and Static. We're just running over everything, player 7 difficulty. And champions in this area drop like Pindle, so every item in the game except for Tyrell's Might, Arachnid's Mesh, and Azarath. And then boss packs themselves can drop every item in the game. So you're farming with a character that has nearly 400 MF, player's difficulty 7, good chances of facets and high runes from the Council, good goodies from Mephisto, and then the chance to drop every item in the game from the Drifter Cavern if you're lucky. With the only real downside being 63 FCR breakpoint, but once you play around with the build a little bit, you do get used to it. I mean, I will be honest, your first like 10 minutes switching from 105 to 63 FCR will be a little bit rough. Once you get used to it, it's not too bad. I think I'm a little too close to the portal this time to TK it. We'll see. Nope, we still got it. That saves a lot of time. I don't know if a lot of people knew about that little trick, but if you kill Mephisto quick enough and further enough away from the portal, you can TK it, which is a little bit faster. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about, the Moon Lords. Ooh. A little bit of damage there. So hopefully we don't have too many Moon Lords on this map spawn. So you can't break their immunity. Definitely gonna want to skip them. I mean, you could, I guess, have your mercenary tank them, but try to. Any up here? Oh, a couple. So you may have to reset a couple maps because of those guys. It's not that big a deal. Well, actually, we'll do one more map run to see if we can get a better spawn. Moonlords is, again, the only disadvantage to the Drifter Cavern and the Fire Sorceress. So just one more to show you guys. Another Durance and Drifter Cavern run. Maybe get a crazy GG drop for a build video. When you get used to the teleport in, fireball, meteor, static combination, This character really does a lot of damage. It's a little bit annoying to aim the meteor, I will admit that. Kind of the same way Blizzard can kind of be annoying until you get really good at aiming it. I'm still not a big fan of the Blizzard Sorceress though. Definitely prefer this over Blizzard. With that ruby. And what do you got for us, Mephisto? Okay. So this time I think we're a little bit too close to the portal to TK it. We'll see. Nope, still got it. Okay. DB still got it. That was not a pun, I swear. Final Drifter Cavern Run. Hopefully not too many Moonlords. Literally, some stuff was dying from Fireball before Meteor would even land. Got a unique poleaxe. Check this GC. Oh, don't have any room. We got Skiller. Fire skill 40 life. Nope. You will notice one thing though is having a little bit of a lower FHR breakpoint compared to the standard 60 you get with Phoenix, or sorry, standard 60 you get with Spirit, excuse me. You will get FHR locked a little bit with this build. I think that the 37 that I have now, the breakpoint that reaches, it's bearable. But ideally, I mean, another Skiller with 12 FHR, or Sandstorm Trex, and a couple FHR small charms, something like that would go a long way with this build. But I think next stream, I am going to do some Drifter Cavern. Get something crazy. So that wraps up that one. Well guys, there you have it. That is everything that I wanted to showcase with this build. Overall, I think she's really good. Tons of damage, tons of MF, capped res, can do player 7 difficulty, with the only downside being a slightly below optimal FHR breakpoint and slightly below optimal FCR breakpoint. But again, I think you can get by it or get used to it if you play the character enough. And it gives you something else to try besides doing Ancient Tunnel runs non-stop on a Blizzard Sorceress or Bale running with Light Sorceress. So definitely a cool alternative. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you could throw a like on it, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content and stream on Twitch. Again, link for my Twitch channel, it is in the description below. But guys, hope you have a fan-freaking-tastic day, and I'll see you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.